Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of handcrafted candles. That's right, every product is thoughtfully created in small batches free from harmful toxins for mindful everyday indulgence. Our candles are hand-poured in coconut soy wax with natural wood wicks, offering a long-lasting burn and rich fragrances. Create a cozy, safe ambiance for your home with candles from Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers use the promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network.
Welcome back to the Inside Edge Morning Show. This is Omar Claussell Jr. Great to be with you here on this Tuesday. It is the 9th of June. A lot of stuff to go over. A lot of stuff happened last night. The Spurs finally get a game. I'm excited about that. I love Wembanyama. I'm so happy for the Spurs. New York was on fire last night. Let me tell you. As soon as that game broke out, man, that city turned into a full riot. My goodness. So today might be a little interesting. I decided to upgrade my internet. Last night I got a text from my mother saying that she was planning on coming up a little earlier than expected. So had to upgrade the internet a little bit because with just two people, she's been kind of sluggish. So at some point in this show, I might be outside. So who knows? But yeah, today we're going to talk, obviously, NBA Finals. A lot of stuff to cover there. We're going to talk a little bit about ESPN. I don't know why these companies decide just take a shortcut. It's basically like lighting a candle with a flamethrower. If that makes any sense. Like, you have all this budget, all these talented people around you that you can just find and make artwork for you, but you choose to do the easy route. Let's see. Later on down the show, we have everything you missed from last night. Go over a couple things with you. What the hell is TSA Gold? Why did a World Cup referee get denied entry? And, there's a new Guitar Hero type game. Later on, around community chat time, around like 10:30 or so, we're going to have Robert Rozycki from WTAM. He's going to come on and talk a little bit of Guardians. And, he might stick around. So it's always a fun time with Rob. You can see him Sunday nights here on the network on the main event with Eli, Double A, and, well, Rob. All right. So getting right down into it. Also, for that second hour, don't don't want to forget this. Uh, New segment that I want to do. So yesterday I was talking about the big stack of CDs that I have behind me. I'll pull them out someday so you guys can get the full list. But I'm gonna go through Steve's stash, and we're gonna pick two albums. So we're gonna do 2 album Tuesdays. I'm just gonna go through the rack. Pull out 2 albums that mean something to me, and yeah, we'll just go from there. I do have a bunch of clips and stuff for you too as well to end the show. Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. Let me get my producer on the screen, Mr. Eli Moon.
Yeah, what's going on? Good morning.
Good morning. How you doing, pal?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing all right. Wemby finally got one, man, in New York, no less.
Yeah, no, it was a very exciting game, right? No home team has won in the NBA Finals yet. The Spurs continue that trend. The New York Knicks won both in San Antonio. The Spurs do that. It was a pretty fun game. I mean, it was a pretty good game. Energy was electric in Madison Square Garden. They were waiting for their first game, and they got their first game in the NBA Finals since 1999. So the first game this century in that finals, experience, and it was just cool. The Spurs almost at one point lost it. They were up most of the first half, and then in that, by halftime, the Knicks were up 64-57. So, just a lot of grit by Wembanyama, some of these other guys that, have stepped out, stepped up, excuse me. The big thing with the Spurs has been the inexperience. That's been the big discussion. Their core is led by Victor Wembanyama, 22 years old, Stephon Castle, 21 years old, and then you have Dylan Harper, who's a rookie, 20 years old. So the big question was, how are these guys going to respond? They got punched in the mouth twice on their own home floor, completely lost home court advantage, and they're one win away, from being able to make it 2-2 and bring home court advantage back and be able to win both in San Antonio.
Yeah, and this Knicks team, you can't really count them out. Like, as soon as you think you have a lead, it is suddenly like you turn your head for 2 minutes and it's gone.
Yeah.
Their ability to just like come back after being down like 10, 12 points is just crazy. And we saw it firsthand with the Cavs series. Not much has really changed for the Knicks here. They've kind of just been doing the same strategy, really, right?
Yeah. No, they've been able to come back from big deficits, and this New York Knicks team really just doesn't say die. Like they really are in a position right now where they're trying to play with like house money in a way, right? Because like the discussion yesterday on the post game, which turned into a post game essentially between prime time and midnight run.
Right.
I had a majority of the Daily Show here. I know you were getting some sleep. We had the discussion about this Knicks team, and Kyle Cornell from Unfiltered, you hear from him later today, 5 to 6 p.m. on the Inside Edge Network. He was mentioning about how this Knicks team may not get back here. The Eastern Conference has been in a weird spot. Nobody saw Boston going out in the first round to Philadelphia in 7 games. So they'll be back. Indiana, they will be back. They have Tyrese Halliburton. They added a Vika Zubac at the trade deadline, to try to help with the Miles Turner departure last offseason, this past offseason. So there's a lot of teams, Washington. I don't know how good Washington will really be, but they have Trae Young returning, or making his debut for Washington. You have Anthony Davis, who's going to make his debut for Washington, and then they have the number 1 pick, which in my opinion should be AJ DeBance out of BYU. We'll see if UA wants to go there, if they feel comfortable enough with that, and then other discussions as well, what the Wizards really want to do with the pick. But all that to be said, the Eastern Conference is going to be in a wide open spot next year. The Cavaliers, obviously you have them as well. Just a lot of teams. So for the Knicks, this could be the time where they have to get it done to ensure that they at least got one during this run. They're on the same kind of timeline as the Cavs and the Celtics, and the fact that they just really won't say die. Like they know that this is a very important series, but Victor Wembanyama played pretty electric too yesterday. Jalen Brunson, 32 points and 11-25 shooting. His inefficiency has been the big discussion. Wembanyama, 32 points and 11-18 shooting. 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, 3 blocks. Only turned the ball over once. And got a great effort on Stephon Castle. The big talk with him has been his turnovers, but he only turned the ball over twice yesterday. He's been pretty efficient. He had 23 points as well. They are the first duo, I believe, in an NBA Finals game under 22 to both score 20. So, I
That-
mean, I'm just double checking here. I'm fact checking on that, but nonetheless, Omar, this has been a really exciting series so far. We'll see if the Spurs can even it up and make it a best of 3. But this has been really, really cool to watch. A team that's experienced with the New York Knicks, and then you have a team, and I don't want to say experience as far as like finals experience, but they've been through a bunch of playoff runs together, and they have found the way to get to this point. Then you have the Spurs who just, hey, we're rocking and rolling. We're having fun, and we want to win, obviously, but we weren't expected to be here this early. So you see Victor Wembanyama, 20 years the stat, 22 years, 155 days. And Stephon Castle, 21 years, 219 days, are the youngest duo by average age in NBA history to score 20 plus points each in a finals game. That was per ESPN Insights. So interesting game yesterday. Yeah, 22-year-olds out there balling, 21-year-olds out there balling. I'm 28 and I smacked my head against a metal bar the other day. So I don't know what I would do in a finals game, but probably not that. Just really exciting. So we'll see what happens tomorrow and see if the Spurs can even it up.
Yeah, man. Your poor head, man. I still feel bad.
Yeah, it was rough, but we're feeling a lot better today. I feel like I'm getting back to my senses. I'll probably take a nap after the morning show, get back to some network business, and then no, it was not fun. It's like one of those when you hit your head and you're like you hear it still.
Yeah, it's still
like
ringing.
you still hear. I'm hearing like the metal bar, and I told the story a few times. I think already on the network, but I smacked my head against the metal bar, and as soon as I did it. Now, mind you, if you're just hearing this story, the other day I was at the park with my niece and nephew. I was keeping an eye on them, and there's a big slide. I don't want them to go down the big slide. That's dangerous.
Right.
My niece is 2, my nephew's 4. It's like, okay, like, and mind you, my sister, like we were pretty dangerous kids. Like, I mean, we didn't get into too much, mom and pops made sure we didn't get into too much. But I mean, swinging off of a rope, we had like one of those ropes swung on in the backyard, a big jungle gym essentially thing in the backyard, and that broke one time on my sister out of nowhere. So like till this day, she's like, I'm gonna be careful. So I keep that extra set of eyes on my niece and nephew. Long story short, we're keeping an eye on the kids. My niece goes to hit the boot scoop boogie and try to run up to the big slide, and I go to jump up and I pull myself with the sidebars, and I thought I cleared it, and I smacked the last monkey bar. Boom! Right in the face. Right
it's
in
like
the face.
Home Alone, man.
Oh, I was so upset. And I'm sitting there, and first thought was, okay, am I gonna be TV ready? Like, am I gonna have a lump on my head? And
You didn't want to come out looking like Liv Morgan.
Yeah, and I'm thinking every swear word in the world, and I'm like, okay, don't swear. Your niece is probably around the vicinity. You got to check on your niece. Where is your niece? And she is a sweetheart. I mean, she is 2 years old and just full of love, her and my nephew. And she goes, I'm like sitting there, I'm holding my head, and she goes, oh, Uncle E, it's okay, and puts her hand on my head. And I'm like, you know what? It is okay. You know what? In that moment, I still was hearing like, dong. Like, actually, I was hearing this, Omar. Give me 1 second here. I'll show you exactly how I was feeling here. This is what I was hearing in that moment. Just a pure, like, I didn't know where I was, man. But I'll tell you this, I'm good. I'm fine. I did all the proper protocol, like put myself through my own concussion protocol. Like, all right, what have you done recently? Like, where are you? Da 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 da. And and my niece, showing the love to me and being like, it's gonna be okay, Uncle. You gotta, tough it out. And I'm feeling a lot better today, so we're cool. We're cool.
Good, man. Good.
So and Omar, I know we got a lot to dive into here. I'm seeing it across the wire here from the Cleveland Browns social. And Vince McKee from Key on Sports also chiming in here this morning. Good morning, Vince. Cleveland Browns longtime lineman Joel Bitonio has announced his retirement from the NFL.
Good for Joel. You know what? Good for Joel. I'm glad he knew when to get out. Sucks that we had another, like, right after Joe, right? Another core offensive lineman who was just like probably a Hall of Famer, right?
Yeah.
It stings, man. Joel was he was like one of the nicest guys that you could ever like go out and interact with. You'd see videos all over, Cleveland Browns social media. Like anytime they do like the fun behind the stage things, like Joel was always one of those guys who just like made everything fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's It was a hell of a run for that offensive line, let me tell you.
Yeah, I mean, he was part of the back end of Joe Thomas's career, a little bit of Joe Thomas, so he
Yep.
intersected with him, Wyatt Teller, that line, with Wyatt Teller, they had that line with a bunch of guys, Jack Conklin, who unfortunately you just could never seem to stay healthy in Cleveland,
Right.
but when he was healthy, he was real good. It just, availability is your best availability at times, and Jack Conklin did not have that. But you had him on the line, you had, a bunch of guys, and Joel Bitonio, once Joe Thomas left, was the anchor of that offensive line. Gonna be missed. I think this is why the Browns were so heavy on the offensive line. They drafted quite a few offensive linemen. First pick was Spencer Fano out of Utah. So they have stressed that they're going to get better at the offensive line. You wonder if they had already been ready for this news. Browns fans have been discussing for months, like, hey, when's Joe Bitonio going to make a decision? Like, is he going to come back or is he retiring? And as we kind of got closer in, we're into June. I'd imagine this is the only result we were going to see, right? I don't think he was going to sign a new contract extension or anything like that. Joel Bitonio, they're seeing, I see in the comments here, across social media, that is about, see you in Canton. We'll see, and I don't say that to be, Debbie Downer or anything like that. Joel Bitonio, 34 years old, by the way. But it's so tough with offensive linemen. There's so many good offensive linemen, right? There's always going to be one guy that anchors typically your team. You find one, you keep on to them like they're gold, because it's hard to find solid offensive linemen like Joe Thomas, like Joel Bitonio, like the guys the Browns have had in this organization over the last decade at different points, or the last 2 decades, to be honest with you. So with Joel Bitonio, and we have plenty of time to dissect, over the next few mornings or whatever you choose. It's your show. I'm just rocking with you. But
No, it's fine.
Whatever we, whenever we talk about Joel Bitonio's legacy, the fact that there's no Super Bowl and things like that, I just wonder how much that factors into alignment. Joe Thomas, I think it was a no-brainer. I mean, you had the consecutive snaps. He literally didn't miss a snap until he got injured. And then he said, guess what? I'm just not coming back. So that was the end of the streak. No new streak started or anything like that. It's weird with Joel Bitonio. I mean, he has the accolades, right? I mean, 7 Pro Bowls, 178 games, 12 seasons with the Cleveland Browns. As Joel Bitonio and the Browns are mentioning here, a Cleveland Brown for life, which is rare. We just talked about a guy last Monday. So we were talking about a week and a day ago about Myles Garrett and how he is no longer a Cleveland Brown. He is, in the vision was, at least Andrew Berry, was a straight, direct trip from Cleveland to Canton, and that's not happening. So the rarity to see Joe Thomas, first off, do his thing and then retire as a Cleveland Brown. And now Joel Bitonio, I don't know about Hall of Fame, but for sure I would consider Ring of Honor in considering Joel Bitonio being recognized in some way. Maybe not retiring his number, but some way.
He'll get in. If it's not, he won't obviously be first ballot, but like he'll get in.
Yeah, I mean, 7-time Pro Bowler, 2-time All-Pro.
Yeah,
is that
he'll get in?
You think? I mean, that's
7-time Pro Bowler. I mean, that means something.
Yeah, but I would say the All-Pros mean more. And he only got 2-time All-Pro. I mean, it's just, I guess it's just how much you value the Pro Bowl. In fairness, Joel Bitonio was playing the Pro Bowl when it was still like in pads and things, but the Pro Bowl now is a flag football game.
I mean, true.
I think it's lost some of its weight. So it all depends over how does his resume stand over the test of time, and at least over the next, it's going to be at least 5. He has to wait 5 to be a first ballot. I think we're having a discussion. I agree with you. I could see him getting in maybe 15 years from now. He gets in, but you got to think, Omar, there's such a logjam already in the Hall of Fame. Guys that are already missing out at other positions getting in. That's why I say, as much as just taking off the Cleveland glasses for a moment, I appreciate Joel Bitonio and I wish him a happy retirement. And he is a legendary Cleveland Brown on that offensive line. I think the Browns should definitely honor him. But if we just pull the curtain back and go full scope, I don't know if he is a Hall of Famer, because you still have a ton of skilled positions that aren't in the Hall of Fame yet. You still have other linemen at his position that have heavier resumes than Joel Bitonio.
Yeah, and I think that's the flaw with the Hall of Fame itself. I think they really need to open up, and expand the amount of players that get in every year, because like there's just a logjam right now, and we need to get some of these guys in, and make sure we're shouting out the people who need to be shouted out, because like the longer some of these guys wait, the more they miss out of the chance of walking across that stage than being it the other way.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the sports leagues, that do the Hall of Fame, I don't know. I guess you could say basketball maybe gets it right the most in terms of like they have the full basketball Hall of Fame. So you have like college, then you have the international, like Yao Ming's in the Hall of Fame. There's other guys that are in the Hall of Fame. Then you have baseball, which I think is the most crazy out of all. Like they have the ballot and the percentage, and if you don't hit a certain percentage on the ballot, well, then you're off the ballot and you never get back on. Kenny Lofton, not on the ballot anymore. Omar Vizquel, not on the ballot anymore. Just crazy.
Yeah.
NFL, I hear you, but I think they're doing the best they can, right? Because it's like they have classes that aren't always as large, but at least they're not inducting two baseball players. Like they inducted two players in the Hall of Fame, in the MLB Hall of Fame. It was Carlos Beltran and it was Andrew Jones this past. And I remember that because I was having a conversation with my co-host on Inside Edge Primetime 10 to 11 here on the Inside Edge Network, Chad Bryan. He's a big Braves fan. And he was like, man, listen, if you don't know about Andrew Jones was that guy. So he was happy that he got in, and Carlos Beltran, a legendary Met, kind of ironic that, a Met and a Brave got in the same year. Kind of crazy. But all that to be said, I guess there could be some changes, but what to think? I mean, what exactly can change? Because again, there's guys in here right now, Omar, that aren't in here that need to get in here still. Two guys that got left off this year, and there'll be another discussion come this next NFL Hall of Fame eligibility is Bill Belichick and Robert Kraft. And those aren't even players. We're not even talking about some of these other guys that haven't got in yet. We're looking at guys like, and I understand, maybe not the strongest of the names that got in this year per se, but you're looking at some of these guys, right, that just made the semifinals. You have Rodney Harrison, who was pretty good on those Patriots teams in that defense. You have Steve Smith Sr., Phillip Rivers, and we'll see what. I think Philip reset his clock, so now we're in a different time. But you have some of these guys that stand out. Tom Coughlin on the coaching side. So again, I'm appreciative, and not trying to like dampen the mood. I'm appreciative of Joe Bitonio. He's a Hall of Fame, or excuse me, he's a Cleveland Browns Hall of Famer. I think he should belong in the Cleveland Browns Ring of Honor, something to recognize him. And I'm appreciative. 12 years, 178 games, 2 All Pros, 7-time Pro Bowler. There's a lot to love about Joel Bitonio and the fact that he spent all of his career in orange and brown. However, if we talk Hall of Fame, just full picture, I don't know, buddy. What? You're in your early 30s. I'm in my late 20s. We could be talking about Joel Bitonio and going to see his Canton induction. Maybe in our 60s and our 70s, bud. That's the reality. But hey, if he gets in, hey, more power to us. Right to the Cleveland Browns fans. Like the fact that we have 2 Hall of Famers, we could say from the that played together at one point on the same line, and Joe Thomas is undoubtedly going to be a Hall of Famer. And then you have Joel Bitonio. So interesting to see.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to pivot back to the NBA Finals. A lot of star power that happened. We want to talk about it and kind of like what happened in the aftermath of the game itself and what happened in New York. And then hopefully Mr. Rob Rozycki will be joining us sometime in the next 10 to 15 minutes. So, all right, keep it locked here. Inside Edge Network Morning Show. We'll be right back.
Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
And we're back on the Inside Edge Morning Show. Woo-wee! Let's talk a little bit more about the star power that happened. My man Danhausen was in the building. Yes, you are cursed. Yeah, him and Cardi B. Look at those Cardi B and Mr. Danhausen. Yeah, man. A lot of people were saying, this is a legendary picture, by the way. I just want to point that out. A lot of people were saying, maybe it's a reverse curse. Who knows? And some other people are saying, it's the Trump curse, right? So President Trump came to the game yesterday, to roaring boos. I don't know if you caught the pre-show, the NBA tip-off with Chuck and Shaq and all those guys. They had Adam Silver come on and kind of explain why Trump was at the game and how it was bringing everybody together, minus politics and everything like that. And Shaq's whole reaction to Adam Silver talking was just absolutely hilarious. It's like, read the room, my guy. But yeah, a lot of people are pretty upset for Adam Silver and everything that happened. Mr. Trump came to the game just to take a nap. Oh, it certainly looks like he's definitely sleeping there. But he did wake up at one point, and he was sitting next to Adam Silver for a while, and there was a really hard foul that Wemby gave, and I don't think Trump liked it very much. My goodness. What a circus, man. I mean, the Knicks tried their asses off. All distractions aside. But the city of New York really turned into like a freaking zoo. All right. It's like Knicks fan or Spurs fans were getting like attacked and like ambushed right after the game. Watch parties were like being completely destroyed. Like holy hell, guys, pull it together and show a little class. You are a representation of your city. I mean, people do stupid stuff all the time after losses. It's not that serious, people just like to cause trouble and start problems, I guess. There was a fan who got mobbed, and then immediately did a post-game interview after he got mobbed. Absolutely.
Yo, back up. Take the shoot. I cannot believe he got it on still, bro.
Yo, I couldn't see anything, bro. Like straight, like a whole minute, I couldn't see anything, bro. My jersey over my head, getting scratched, getting kicked and shit, bro. It's all good though. We straight. We still alive, chat.
Hold the mic. Stay close to him.
We still alive.
Yo, chat. Is Canel good, chat? No, they now got jumped.
Yo, Spurs are 6.
Yeah, so I would not like to be down there during any watch parties. Let me tell you that. But yeah, a lot of people are saying that Trump brought the curse to the Knicks. But I like to believe that it was a reverse curse from Danhausen. Also, when Trump was getting on his plane, he made some very interesting comments about Stephen A. Smith.
It was, I think, mostly cheers. It was loud and it was very enthusiastic.
Mr. President, ESPN commentator Stephen A. Smith, who was talking about running for president, said he would blame you if the Knicks lost the game. How do you respond to that?
I think he's a nice guy, but you need a certain aptitude to run for president. You need a high IQ. I'm not sure that Stephen has that. I don't think he does, actually.
Man, I really hope Steven's bringing it today because, like, ooh, I would not take any crap from that guy. All right. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want to shout out my guy, Rob Rozycki from WTAM 1100. We're going to talk guards. And, he might stick around for the community segment. Who knows? We'll be right back here on Inside Edge Network. Make sure you like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. It really helps us out, gets us known, or gets us seen, gets us out there. And if you subscribe, you can get access to all of our live shows that we do here. After this, we'll be unfiltered with Kyle Cornell 5 to 6. You get Inside Edge Prime Time with Eli Mood and Chad Bryan around from 10 to 11, and Midnight Run with Anthony Alfred from 12 to 1. And last night, because the finals were going on, we kind of did a whole 3-hour block, right? So we had Eli and Chad, and then kind of brought everybody in from the network to kind of cover the game. It was really, really sick. So make sure you're checking out all the content that we do here on the network. Check out our website, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You can find more information about the shows that we put on, all of the personalities on the network, and check out our merch shop. We got a lot of cool gear there. Rep the network. That's what we do here. Inside Edge Morning Show. We'll be right back with WTAM's own Rob Rozycki.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader.
My goodness, what a night. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It felt like a full event, but we have full team coverage all night long, reacting. Myself, Eli, Chad, and Eli. And yes, I said your name twice because you did a lot of work. Kyle was on there. And yes, Kyle, everything will be okay. But no, what a night. And we have a series, Eli.
We sure do, Double A. Yeah, San Antonio gets one. No home team in this finals has won on their home court, and it's just crazy to think about. We spent a wide range of time, 3 hours to be exact, with most of the Daily Show. So now we'll see if we can wake Omar up here in the morning and get him rocking and rolling with you. But man, what a fun night here. Just reacting to Game 3.
It was fun. Again, Tuesday Top 5 coming up for you later tonight on Inside Edge Primetime. And if Chad ends up on the opening segment of my show, then the top 5 list is wrong. But you got to tune in. Inside Edge Primetime at 10 with Eli and Chad. And then my show, Midnight Run, coming up later tonight, right here on the Inside Edge Network.
Welcome back, Inside Edge Morning Show. Yeah, so crazy scene there at the finals last night. I still can't believe some of the stuff that I saw just scrolling Twitter. So I want to bring in my longtime friend. He works at WTM 1100. He also is on the main event here Sunday nights. No show this Sunday, but you can check him out next Sunday. Mr. Rob Rozycki.
Give me 1 second here, Omar. I think we're having a little technical difficulties. Let me see if we can get Mr. Rozycki in here. Give me 1 second.
All right. Oh, man. Back is killing me today. Let me tell you. I woke up and felt like I got twisted into a pretzel. So bear with me. You'll see me stretching a lot. I'm getting back surgery. Just deal with it. Let's see here. Trying to get Rob on. But yeah, the energy in the field from last night was kind of crazy. You hope to see people come together in a positive way. And you don't want to see people attacking people for no reason.
I have great news, Omar.
What's up?
Look, man, I was concerned. I don't know. I don't know how to bring this up to you. Go ahead and introduce your guest one more time. I'm not sure what's going on, but
all right. Mr. Rob Rozycki, WTAM 1100. The main event. Rob, where are you? Where are you?
I was just doing my Donald Trump impression. How y'all doing today?
Oh, good, man. Better than him right now.
Well, he's well rested at least. If you need a nap, and I know how toddlers are when they don't get their with their sleep here, they get a little cranky. So I get that. But yeah, how you doing?
Good, man. Good, man. I wanted to get your thoughts real quick about everything that you saw last night from the finals. Seeing him get booed the way he did was just kind of crazy, like almost surreal. First sitting president to go to a finals game. He was a huge Knicks fan back in the day, but not so much of a great guy now.
Well, I think it would have been a situation of regardless of party or anything along that line, he would have got booed. Mainly because of the security protocols. Everybody in there had to deal with 2 extra hours of security, a bunch of extra rules. They made the game a whole lot harder to go to. And you were already talking about tickets that were $50K, $100K. I think the Knicks said $1 million for some of these tickets. So like I could understand getting booed in just that little bubble, but then you throw in the fact that he's Donald Trump. And you throw in the fact that it's New York City, who's hated him long before he was president. So I don't think anybody was really surprised with how it went. But at the same time, I'm happy that it's all it was booze. There was no other, like correspondence dinner or Butler rally kind of kerfuffle around it. So at least we had that, but yeah, it was a at least though it was a distraction for both sides. It was San Antonio and New York had to both deal with it. I heard both teams kind of had to alter their warm-ups because the president wanted to meet them. So yeah, it was a distraction, but a distraction for both sides.
Right. So the Spurs in this series, man, New York's been playing them tough. Like anytime they get any sort of lead and then Wemby has to go and sit on the bench, like New York's just bringing it to them.
Yeah, well, we're seeing right now San Antonio try to deal with the fact they aren't as deep as New York. And yeah, we see it with New York with, Shamet coming off the bench, all the other role players that are just, Josh Hart having a little bit of a game last night even too. They have other options besides Wemby. And I think, that's the fact that they're, San Antonio's 3 years into this process. They've only had Wembayama for for not even 3 full seasons yet, 3 free agent cycles, 3 other drafts, that kind of thing. So, yeah, right now it's the fact that, there's just not a whole lot of backup for Wembayama. And, like when you see in game 1 and game 2, when he settles for being a jump shooter, even that isn't all that dominant. So, yeah, there are some issues with the construction of San Antonio's roster, but again, it's only because they are so young into this process.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see them in the finals. They're a young team. We'll probably be seeing them, here more often. Get used to seeing Wemby's face.
Yeah, I would say the same thing, but Oklahoma City is going to have some stuff to say about that. And speaking of Oklahoma City, we were all saying the same thing about them last year. Like, oh my God, everybody's coming back. These guys are so young. They're super friends. They they love playing with each other. That kind of. So yeah, who knows? And plus, too, this is a league where I think this is going to be the 8th straight individual champion crowned in the last 8 years. I don't think they've had the same team win it since Golden State went back to back. So I mean. I would like to see. I do think, though, that the entire plot line of the NBA for the next few years are going to be everybody else versus Wemby. Can somebody knock off Wemby in either the Western Conference or all the way into the finals? So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, good stuff, Rob. Want to get to some Guardians talk here. We dropped an exciting one against the Yankees last night. My goodness, man! Like that one kind of hurt to get away from us a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, obviously it's just 1 to 162, and you got to keep telling yourself that in this situation. They did have Warren go last night, which was the out of the 3 starters we were going to face was probably the most susceptible one. I think is what I think we got Cam Schlittler coming up in a couple of days. I forget who's going tonight. Let me I can check that up real quick while we're just kind of doing here. But either way, it's the Yankees. You don't have that many opportunities when it comes down to it's Garrett Cole tonight against Slade Ciccone. Yeah, that's all. Just Garrett Cole. So yeah, I mean, that was the one you kind of wanted to get. It was frustrating too, in the same way that it kind of happened the same way that a lot of other losses happen, where runners in scoring position, producing when you got anybody on base. That always seems to be an issue for the Guardians. Not even just this year, but last year and the year before. I think last night kind of proved that even though it is better, this team's limit is how far the offense can take them. I think that the relievers are fine. The great stat that I've been throwing around the last couple of weeks is on the starting pitching side. We've only used 5 starters. We're the only team to use 5 starters all year. We haven't had anybody scratched, any bullpen days. None of that malarkey happening here in Cleveland, at least right now. So with the staff being fine, this team has always been the same thing, at least the last couple of years. Just, can we get the offense? I know, DeLauder, Bazana, those guys injected into the lineup helped things out, but it's still kind of the same problem that we've had the last 2 years.
Yeah. Kind of crazy to think about too. Like, cause you can kind of see flashes, man. You can kind of tell, like, they're like right there, but like,
it's starting. Yeah, it's starting for sure. I mean, what's not helping right now specifically, I think, Chase DeLauder has cooled down significantly since his hot start, and even a couple of weeks ago. So he's kind of learning how to be a rookie right now. I'm waiting for the same thing for Bazana to happen. But yeah, it's nice that we do have these young guys that are materializing, and hopefully they'll be developed enough and seasoned enough by the end of the season here, where they'll really matter in playoffs. Well, the DeLauder won't be a big deal. I mean, that's a second go around in the playoffs. He'll be fine. But yeah, like, hopefully, I think that's what they're playing right now, is a developmental game to see if these guys can get up to it. And, possibly, maybe, I know we got the trade deadline coming up in about 6 weeks, and it always seems to be the favorite thing for us Guardians fans to have our trade targets, and then all get let down the day after the trade deadline when none of them show up. So I'm sure we'll get into that cycle one more time, and, hopefully this offense can get a little bit better.
Yeah, I really hope so. So after this Yankees run, we have a series against the Tigers. Do you want to talk about, like, what's going on with Detroit, man?
Well, we broke Detroit. I think we broke Detroit a couple of years ago, or a couple of weeks ago, when we swept them in Comerica, right around the time we knocked the Pistons out of the playoffs, actually. So they're just not playing well right now. They're hurt. They're beat up. They have a lot of if you look at a lot of their regular players, they're not playing right now. And at least though, Tarek Skubal, it looks like he's coming back sooner than later. I think that it's now just down to a rehab start or two before anything, before it gets, he gets back to the majors, which is amazing to say. I mean, like, he had elbow surgery not that long ago, and 3 weeks ago, and he's back up and running now. So Detroit is in last place right now. Isn't, I think, second to last now because of Kansas City. But I wouldn't be shocked if Detroit somehow gets back into this and somehow makes this an interesting division. Because quite honestly, I don't see Chicago kind of holding up,
right?
For the rest of the season. They're a nice little plucky underdog story, and then really with Minnesota and Kansas City, they're going to have to do something before I believe anything they're going to do. So it's up to Detroit. It's if Detroit doesn't do this, this could be a very boring division race. But yeah, Detroit's chugging along fine. Casey Mize coming back sooner. I hope sooner than later, at least for their sake. Jackson Jobe, Javi Baez, all those guys are out right now, so they'll get healthy. I don't know if they're going to start winning games though.
Yeah, no, I know a lot of people are trying to. I know I've heard a lot of Guards fans trying to add or like basically come out and say how much they want Skubal on this team. I don't know if he'd make much of a difference.
I mean, you're always going to take. I mean, he's a back-to-back Cy Young winner. But at the same time, what's Detroit going to want from us? And I underlined us in that one, the Cleveland Guardians. How would you feel if Detroit wanted Jose Ramirez?
Right.
So it would be fun, but I also think, too, that if you were to put Skubal on the roster, you would have a lot of complaints, even from me, about why didn't you address the offense? Why didn't you go there first, or another reliever or something along that line? We haven't really had to trade for starting pitching in a while, but yeah, it would be fun to troll the shit out of them, but at the same time, I don't know how viable it would be.
Right. Real quick, wanted to get your thoughts on Joel Bitonio. Longtime Brown, stayed with him his whole career. Eli and I were just kind of going back and forth. I think he's a Hall of Famer sooner than later. Eli thinks maybe 15 to 20 years down the line. He's definitely getting in the Ring of Honor, but I want to get your thoughts on Joel. And I know you're a Steelers fan and you've had to see Joel a lot. And you cover the Browns too, but I just want to get your thoughts on Joel, the player, and, everything like that.
I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame, but at the same time, this is going to be the one spot where the Browns' lack of winning is really going to hurt him. I think if he was Joel Bitonio on a 2-time Super Bowl championship team, okay, he's in. Like, if he was one of Peyton Manning's guys, or if he was one of Tom Brady's guys, or something like that, yeah, he's in, no problem. But there is going to be a little bit of a weight on that one, I would think. A, he's a Brown. They didn't win a lot. B, he's a guard, which, let's face it, is not the highest profile position. Whenever he does go in, he will not be the headliner name of the class. I'll guarantee you that. So, and then you could throw the third point in there, where there's a backlog of a lot of guys who should be in, regardless of position. There's a lot of receivers out there that are still on the outside looking in. I think Torrey Holt is one of those guys kind of looking in. So, yeah, it's going to take a while for him to go in, but I don't think that changes his legacy here in Cleveland at all. He was kind of the spiritual successor anyway to Joe Thomas after, Joe retired, a few years back. That stalwart, professional, offensive lineman there who's going to do his job day in, day out. He's going to be able to lead the unit. He's going to be able to protect the quarterback. And he's not going to complain. He's not going to sit there and him and haw about, paychecks and holdouts and trade demands and, coming off the whole Myles Garrett thing, having dudes like Joel Bitonio on the roster have been refreshing because they do their job without the drama. But yeah, I mean, he's what I would think, and I don't know my Browns history going back to the 50s and 60s and before. But at the same time, I would have to put him as a top 5 lineman all time in the franchise history. And yeah, deserving of any honor he gets. And by all accounts, we've heard him as an 5-star awesome teammate. And I'm sure his presence will be missed in that locker room.
Yeah, man. I mean, yeah. I know we didn't win a lot, right? But we did go and beat the Steelers in the playoffs and then lose to the Chiefs.
And like Joe Thomas too, like they're at positions. They're not going. Like quarterbacks. You're judged if you don't win that title. If you don't win, if you have a bad record as a starter. Offensive line, you don't really get that same criticism. So he does have that going for him too.
I mean, he was also like one of the most reliable guys from 2017 to 23. Like, he had a streak of 6,481 consecutive snaps. Like, you gotta love consistent. I mean, he wasn't the Iron Man that Joe was, but like, you gotta admire the consistency there.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's if you're a little big guy wanting to be a big guy in the NFL and be an offensive lineman and protect the quarterback. Yeah, that's the big take. I think you can look at both of those guys, especially, and say, the best availability or the best ability is availability. And those guys there day in, day out. And I'm sure the teammates see that too. And it's like Linus and there's, security blanket here. It's just good having those kind of guys around.
Yeah, definitely. So Rob, I want to ask you some questions here. Yesterday, Caleb Downs' mom actually came out and criticized him for picking the number 13, saying there aren't any good number 13s. So Rob, I want to get your favorite number 13s.
I'd have to. Oh wow, best. I thought you were going to ask me about Brandon Sorsby. Let's see here. That would the demise of college football would have been easier than that. Let's see. I'm trying to even,
some that we shouted out yesterday. Steve Nash was Kyle's favorite. I picked, you have Dan Marino.
I'm going to say Kurt Warner, right?
Kurt Warner. Will Chamberlain.
Do you think Odell Beckham Jr. had an issue with that when Caleb Downs' mom was squawking about that?
Probably.
I mean, okay, like the 13 argument you could, with Marino, you could make, well, he didn't win the Super Bowl. He's the most, deal with it. But then with Kurt Warner, you have before Tom Brady anyway, you had the biggest underdog in Super Bowl history when 2 of these mamma jammas almost win a third against Pittsburgh. Like, yeah. Oh man. I don't know if I mean, I think it's hilarious that's what Mama's bitching about. That's great. But at the same time, my
favorite was Omar Vizquel, obviously.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was just thinking with football, with them complaining about. Do the Yankees have 13 retired? They have to have 13 retired, right?
They have to, right?
Yeah. Let's see here. Actually, no, it's Jazz Chisholm.
Go figure.
Yeah, you think he's disagreeing with that right now? Well, what do they call fear of 13? The triskaidekaphobia, I think, is something along that line. So who knows? I mean, it's with numbers anyway, that's like the one thing you're allowed to be completely superstitious on. So I'm just going to be interested to see if Caleb is going to listen to Mama on this one, or how much power does Mama have on this one, or is he just going to just do his own thing?
I don't know. It looks like he might just do his own thing. It's somebody who doesn't have a number right now. backup quarterback for the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, did you see that? Because they they printed up the roster for the Browns right now, and there is actually no quarterback number available.
Yep, no
If
number
8
available.
is not available. What autogram was 16, I think, and then everything else is already taken right now.
One, he got his number stolen, and then two, like now he just doesn't have a number.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that was a straight up like prison move there. It was just like the bigger, stronger guy is going to take this. If you have a problem with it, he's over there. I'm sure he'll be more than willing to listen to whatever you have to say about this. But ultimately, it's going to be up to you to get that damn number back.
Yeah.
And is he just going to go out there with a blank, whatever here? Is it just, or is it like, the old Goldberg X from Longest Yard, or, what are we happening here? Oh, by the way, too, I have on my TV in studio after listening to your last segment here. It's on mute right now, but it's first take, and there's a lot of camera shots on Stephen A. Smith, and he's smirking like a shithead right now.
Oh no! All right, I can't wait to get some reaction from that. Hopefully,
dude, that's going to be interesting with the whole with the president, and I understand, you're a politician, and this politician hurls insults for a living, but. Dude, anybody who's a sports fan knows that Stephen A. Smith's tree is not one you bark up for no reason. So, him and Nick Wright are the two guys I wouldn't want to tussle with, and Trump's going after one of them right now. It's going to be kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, man, it'll be fun. Exactly. We're going to take a quick break for station ID, and we'll come back. Rob, you want to stay on?
Yeah. I'll stay up for a little bit longer for sure.
All right, cool. We'll be right back with Rob from WTAM and Main Event here on Inside Edge Network Morning Show.
Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com. Clean energy, bold flavors, and no jitters. See why people won't shut up about Dubby. Clean energy, no jitters or crash. Whether you're starting your workday or getting ready to exercise, Dubby Energy helps you lock in and focus. With over 15 flavors to choose from, you can't miss. Order Dubby Energy right now by using the QR code on your screen and use the promo code InsideEdge10 to receive 10% off your order. Dubby Energy, your energy-focused sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at MosserMomentsPhotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. MosserMomentsPhotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Great episode of Unfiltered today, guys. Here on your Monday, broke down a bunch of different happenings all across Northeast Ohio, including, the county sheriff. It's the only county in Ohio that doesn't elect their sheriff. County Council is going to get into this more on Tuesday. We'll have the results of that either Tuesday or Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Also, President Trump went to it, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. What happened with the Knicks and the Spurs? Are the Spurs down 3-0? Oh my goodness. All that and more coming up on Unfiltered on your Tuesday, 5 p.m. right here on the Inside Edge Network.
Luckily, Kyle, they got a game. 2-1 is the series. 2-1 is the series. Spurs pulled it out last night. Yeah, man. I wanted to real quick touch about the game happening tonight against the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes. Golden Knights had a shocking rally with a 5-4 2 overtime victory in Game 3. I just went to Vegas, just hung out, saw the arena, like the atmosphere around in Vegas is like one of the best that you can like experience. I don't know if you've ever been to Vegas, Rob, but like just like the amount of community and kind of like togetherness that you see from this team is kind of crazy, man. They recently won, but had to redo and restructure this entire squad. And it's been exciting to watch. Oh, you're muted, bud. You got to unmute yourself.
Why am I muted? I was talking about the United States of Tortorella here. That's who I'm keeping an eye on right now, because John Tortorella is one of the probably one of the better coaches, but one of the more entertaining coaches. They already got docked a draft pick earlier this postseason run for not dealing with the media. Massive fine to the team. He does things his own way. He could very well win the Stanley Cup in the next couple of days and still get fired mid-season next year. That's just how it's Tortorella. Like, right. I think I was talking to Dennis the other day, and I was kind of Maniloff at TAM, and kind of comparing Tortorella to he's the NHL version of Tom Thibodeau for the NBA. We're like, all right, he rough around the edges. He isn't the easiest guy to deal with, but you're going to get results. And the second you don't, he's going to be just straight up out the door. But yeah, watching what Vegas has done really just as the entire body of work too, their entire franchise existence. I think what is 8 years they've been around, 7 playoff runs. This is their 3rd Stanley Cup final. They might win this one. They've already won, one in their own right. So that, and they haven't been around a decade yet, and they already have 3 appearances in the tournament. That this is the same thing that Toronto's been waiting since 68 to win. So, yeah. And Canada itself since 93. So yeah, like whoever is running expansion teams, I know they're talking about that in the NBA and in other sports right now. They need to look at how Vegas built that and how Vegas got that thing up and running quick, because we're talking about Joel Bitonio retiring from the expansion Browns in '99, and we're still an expansion team 27 years later. So there's.
Let me get to that. That's because they changed the rules of the expansion team. They saw the success of the Carolina Panthers and all the other who else was it? The Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jags. Yeah, they were both in title games within a couple of years, I think.
Yeah, completely changed the players that you can pick out of the pool for the expansion team. So that 99 Browns team was just literally a team of scabs.
Oh, yeah. It was put together in a shit way, but there are a lot of reasons for it, for sure. Yeah. I think what Vegas did was, they had their expansion draft, but, they were drafting against themselves. They were the only expansion team. And, what they would do is, like, if Pittsburgh, because how with the expansion draft, you only protect like 7 or 8 guys or whatever. I'm sure hockey might be a little bit more. But, they look and say, all right, you have players X, Y, and Z that are not protected. We want player X. We know you love player X and you don't want us to take him. So in exchange for not taking player X, how about you trade us this veteran that you kind of don't want and a draft pick, and we'll go with somebody else. So they kind of found a market to bid against themselves. And, maybe, I don't know if that's a model that's, able to be duplicated in other sports, but yeah, like whoever builds this stuff in the future better take some notes. And yeah, I mean, we can go in. I mean, I'm sure that's probably an entire morning show about all of the ways the ball was dropped with the expansion Browns back in the late '90s. So,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
I wanted to get into some other things. I do a segment, things you might have missed from last night. I have a couple things for you, Rob. So, do you know what TSA Gold Plus is?
That's what the express line in at the airport, right? To get through all the security protocols and stuff. TSA Gold.
Yeah. So,
Okay, it's
transportation.
either that or a Grammy winning rapper. So I don't know.
TSA Gold. You know what? That's a fire name. I might use that. Yeah. U.S. transportation officials want to expand the role of private security screeners at airports. And critics are saying it's just prioritizing profit over safety. So what exactly is it, right? It's a screening partnership program. They already have one, SSP, that currently contracts with private companies at, about 20 airports to conduct security screenings of travelers. The idea behind Gold is to expand the SSP and shift more responsibility to private companies, which would manage a workforce screening technology to streamline passenger screenings. So basically, nothing's really changing. You're just going to see another guy in a different uniform, basically.
They're basically handing these private contracts out, is what we're saying. We're basically subcontracting airport security out, is what we're saying here.
Yes, and the unions absolutely hate this idea.
Yeah. Well, and you have the union thing and the fact that, the rank and file federal workers are probably a little screwed in this. And then really the first thing that came to mind because the second part of the story, really the privatization of this is what I'm getting this now. That's what they did with prisons back in the day. And that's why we have more citizens per, million, I think we have a higher percentage of our citizens incarcerated than China, because there's a buck to be made off them, because you can make, and I had a buddy of mine who was, thrown in for a probation violation. It wasn't even, he didn't even go into the clink, and they kept him in the system for, about 3 months when he was just kind of, waiting for processing, because the judge who was overseeing the whole operation had stock in that private prison company that was running the inmates. So they were getting money based on, what they were doing here. So I don't think we should be privatizing this kind of stuff. I don't understand why things like prisons and healthcare and now airport security and college, those shouldn't be money-making endeavors. Those shouldn't be that'd be like the police being a money-making endeavor. I don't know. It's just, and it's I guess it's this president's. I'm surprised he woke up long enough to get this done. But it's this president's way of kind of making the Hunger Games just a little bit more true. We are getting that, because you notice, part of what this gold stuff is, and the preferred access and all these fast track lines, we're creating two classes of Americans. We're creating that 1% Epstein class, and then everybody else that kind of has to live by the real rules. And all these other guys up here, they don't have to wait in line. They don't have to, worry about child rape laws. They don't have to do a lot of stuff. And, but at the same time, it's a little scary, and it doesn't really make me want to fly all that much more, to tell you the truth. But
I get that 100%. I just flew to Vegas, and I feel for these TSA agents, because the TSA and SSP are kind of different, right? So TSA employees missed nearly $1 billion in paychecks.
Yeah.
And then SSP haven't missed a single one. So
yeah, and this happens after what they were screwing with the TSA agents, with the shutdown a little bit ago. Yeah, I mean, this what I think what this does, what this administration tries to do in a lot of situations is instead of, putting down the law that says we're getting rid of the Department of Education, we just screw with it so much where nobody wants to do it anymore. So nobody works there, and it's pretty powerless and stupid. And I don't know if, they're trying to do this with the TSA employees in general and just let the BlackRock guys come in and do it, or, but this, you would think they would want these TSA guys in here. I would, these private employees would probably cost a lot more money to sit and do their jobs than maybe either that, or it's going to be, like when you go into a building downtown and you see Allied Security down there, like, is that going to be what our TSA guys are now? Is it going to be some dude who, the other three, he works third shift 4 nights a week, and the other 3 nights he's getting stoned and playing Call of Duty with his buddies and then going in for his $12 an hour? Or like, because if that's the case, we're going to have planes falling out of the sky.
Exactly. And, I don't need Joe Schmo going and, trying to dig through my stuff,
No, yeah, and then that's the whole thing too. Is what's these guys' security level and what's these guys' clearance? Like, are we going to have to worry about the federales when they check our bags? Well, I had that gold watch. I had that wad of $100 bills packed in a shoe, or like you could just again another kind of a chance for abuse of power and authority here. I don't know. We haven't really found a good thing about this yet.
No. It's literally the same thing. It's literally the same thing. You're not really going to see any changes if you go and fly either. Like I said, it's just going to be a guy in a different shirt.
Yeah, it's just going to be somebody else making more money off it. That's that. And like, again, not to complain too much about the I'm going to do it anyway.
Oh wait,
but this administration.
I got one for you. So my next story is a World Cup referee from Somalia who got denied entry to the U.S. because of vetting.
I did see that. Is this, and you're better in the soccer world than I am. Like, this guy is, and I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but he's been a referee. I'm assuming if you're a World Cup referee, you've been doing it for a while. This isn't something that you kind of picked up, early 2025 or anything, right? He's been around the game for this is like, banning Hunter Wendelstadt or, Angel Hernandez, even though I think we wanted that to happen. Like, this is a guy who's been around for a while, right?
Yeah. I mean, he's, his name is Omar Artan. He's the only Somali referee selected for the Cup.
Well, he was. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure, they're going to claim there's something to this, but I'm sure there's not going to be a whole lot to it. This is the worst. If I'm a U.S. soccer fan, I hate the fact that this is the hand we're dealt right now, that we have the World Cup here, that this is supposed to be something that is, inclusive internationally, accepting internationally. This is supposed to be it's a
religion to those other countries.
Oh, yeah.
The way they, it's the way they, it's not just like a family outing like it is for us. It's a religion over there. It's like church.
I've heard of countries stopping, for throwing ceasefires in military conflict when games are on. Like, hey, like, okay, I understand, we hate this other religion, but bro, we're up 2-0, so stop the shooting.
It's crazy.
So,
it's that we get it during this administration, right?
And that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Driving the most hate and division.
Where, and we should be celebrating all of the cultures coming in here. We should be celebrating, the world looking at us in a way, never mind what the team's doing, but just what the country's doing. And this is now simultaneously with the most xenophobic, the most, just isolationist administration that we've really had since, I want to say, Woodrow Wilson. It's just a bad. I wish we could get this in the next one or the one before this. Like, I wish this could have been done differently, because and then what? Hell, we'll have LA 28 coming up next couple of years too for the Olympics. So Yeah, this is just bad timing for all this stuff. Now, at least what's nice is that with the IOC and FIFA in general, we found two organizations corrupt enough that have no problem sitting across the table from the president of the United States, or this president of the United States. So at least we got like a peas in a pod there. This is kind of like Dr. Evil talking to all of his henchmen here in the layer. But yeah, for the average soccer fan, if I'm you, if I'm anybody around here who is into the game, this is just going to go down as one of the biggest missed opportunity, a best case scenario, a missed opportunity for the United States.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And you have to think too, like, you're getting all these people coming into the country, right? What is the security going to be like at some of these arenas? Like, is ICE going to make an appearance at some of these events? Like, what's going to happen?
There's been rumors. Yeah, I think the one nice thing about your
you have to be like afraid that you might possibly get sent out of the country just for being you.
Yeah, or if you're here on a travel visa for the month, watching games, if you're on normal paperwork. Now, the nice thing is that the ticket prices have made sure that not a lot of these arenas are actually going to be sold out. So, there are, I would think there's not a lot of undocumented immigrants here, fresh off the boat. You got, 3 nickels in your pocket. I don't think there's a lot of them that can afford a $4,000 upper deck ticket at MetLife. So at least you got that going. But yeah, for the international crew, like the jet setter guys that have enough money to come out here and play around in the States for a couple of weeks and follow their team. Yeah, I would be very, very nervous that if I look at a TS, like Shams Charania, damn near had a problem yesterday, right. And let alone random dude from Kuwait or from Bulgaria or from Somalia or from where pick a country at this rate here. I think the only one that'll probably I think the only 2 countries that'll be okay will be like Norway and South Africa, and only probably half the South African team will be okay.
It'll be interesting to see, like, also because these games are being played in Canada and Mexico, how many people, opt to just say, screw America and just go to one of those countries instead.
I actually was hearing an interview with a soccer fan who was from Miami, who is in the town that, or one of the town's pro player or whatever their Hard Rock now is having games. Like they're in his hometown. And it is cheaper for him to go to the airport, hop a bird to Cancun, Mexico, wherever they're playing, do what they're doing, and come back and have a good time at home. And yeah, I think what is it now too? The Iranian team. I think they're playing completely in Mexico and Canada, because of things. And dude, if I'm Iran too, if I'm these players with the environment we've created around here, like I might be legitimately scared too that I might get picked up.
Yeah.
This used to be a situation for 100 years where like the Cuban baseball teams or the other the Iraqi soccer teams or what, they wanted to get picked up, they wanted to get snatched up, they wanted a reason to stick around here. And now it's the complete opposite. It's just get me the hell home as fast as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. You hate to see it. Just where this country's kind of going, especially like right now, because like we're supposed to be united as one to, cheer on our guys. I'll be having more conversations about this team, but I recently watched the HBO documentary that they released. And, we have a group of guys here for the national team that, went through some turmoil, right? Ups and downs, finally got that Gold Cup win last year, but like, just trying to
with this golden generation too. Yeah, I mean, this was supposed to be kind of the groundswell of U.S. And now, from what I understand, they're a little bit behind maybe the expectations they were 4 or 6 years ago. But yeah, they're this supposed to be a team that's supposed to make the round of 16, right?
Right. Yeah. No, you're expecting this team to do well. And
Now, have they picked the goalie yet?
I mean, they did announce the squad, so yeah, they.
Well, I mean, yeah, they have. I think the last I heard, they had 3 goalies on the roster, but they haven't really. It's kind of a Shedeur Sanders, Deshaun Watson thing.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to throw some guys out there and see how they do, and you got to roll with the hot hand, I guess. I mean,
I think that's what the plan is. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, but it's supposed to be a good time. Like, yeah, this is supposed to be like the coming out party for U.S. soccer, and all
Right.
systems go. And yeah, it's going to be hard enough. This is the World Cup. I think 6 countries in its history have won this tournament. Making the round of 16, is an accomplishment. I had to explain to somebody. It's like, no, you're right now as American soccer fans. We're not Ohio State football fans. We're not win the natty, win the natty, win the natty. We're Bowling Green basketball. We're Kent State basketball. We're making the tournament is the honor. Getting to the dance is the honor. And, that's how hard this stuff is. So, yeah, I mean, like, it's going to be fun to watch. I will be Friday night is. I think I will be watching that actually in a hotel room in South Carolina. I will choose to watch that instead of watching the UFC card the next day. But
Good
yeah,
option.
but yeah, like you can tell U.S. soccer wants to be, wants this to go down and wants this to be, and I think they've just been. Again, dealt with the current geopolitical situation, a really shitty hand.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. All right, Rob, I want to thank you for coming on, man. It's been an honor.
Absolutely.
Thanks for chopping it up. Guards talk, talking about the finals, talking about TSA, and
Yeah, we should make this a weekly thing, and next time I'll actually I'll be awake when we popped on in too. So yeah, took me a couple seconds to get booted up there, but I guess the Donnie Trump impression was a little too on the nose.
It was great, man. Great, good stuff. Check out Rob on 1100, and also. You can check him out here on the main event with Eli and Double A. Rob will be out of town, so no show this Sunday, but you can check him out next Sunday.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I love you guys and all, but Hilton Head is just. Yeah, I gotta go. Sorry.
I don't blame you, brother. Get out there and enjoy that sunshine, man.
Absolutely, man. Thank you for having me. Yeah, we need to make this a weekly situation. I wouldn't mind kicking back and shooting the shit with you every week.
All right, sounds good, man.
We'll
make it a thing.
All right.
All right. So when we come back here on Inside Edge Network, I got 2 Album Tuesday. So I got 2 albums that I'm gonna be talking about from Steve's collection, and we'll go from there. Make sure you check us out, like and subscribe. Inside Edge Net on all the socials. We're on YouTube, X, Facebook, IG, and TikTok. If you're on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. Go and ring that notification bell to get all of the updates when we go live, because we have, we have shows here on the daily that we do every day. After me, it's Unfiltered with Kyle from 5 to 6. You got Inside Edge Primetime with Eli Moon and Chad Bryan from 10 to 11. And you have Midnight Run with Anthony Alford. We also have daily shows as well. Check out Papa Moon. It's usually around 5 p.m. on Saturdays. Mental health talk, man. It's important to as men, it's important to talk about your feelings. I saw that clip that we were talking about Dana White. They were talking about Dana White the other night. And just about how, this misogynistic machado man thing it's really played out, dude. Like you just look like an asshole. Just gonna say it, Dana. Men can cry. Men can have feelings and emotions, and we can express that with our friends and our peers, and it's important. So if you're struggling out there, I know I kind of stuck this in there, but if you're struggling, if you're out there and things are really tough, reach out to us. Anybody on the network, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. We're here for you. So keep your head up, sun shining, go out and get some sunshine today. Keep it locked with me here for another half an hour, and we'll get you going. All right. Inside Edge Network. We'll be right back.
Fanatics isn't just our name, it's who we are. Loyal, passionate fans dedicated to our favorite teams and to the sports we love. That's why we're honored to be able to offer fans the world's largest collection of official sports apparel and sports jerseys from all leagues, teams, and players you love. We feature a wide selection of gear from every league, including the NFL, MLB, NBA, NHL, and NCAA merchandise, which allows us to serve fans of football, baseball, hockey, basketball, lacrosse, soccer, golf, and, well, everything else that gets your heart pumping. Go to Fanatics.com by using the QR code on your screen right now to celebrate your teams. That's Fanatics.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Discover our collection of body mists made with clean, minimal ingredients. Handcrafted with natural essential oils and clean ingredients, they offer a natural alternative to synthetic fragrances. Perfect for sensitive skin and those seeking clean, mindful self-care, and the perfect gift for you or your special someone. Courtesy of Alley Rose Fragrances. First-time customers, use that promo code InsideEdge20 to receive 20% off your order. AlleyRoseFragrances.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Find us on InsideEdgeNetwork.com for the latest information on your favorite shows, personalities, and network partners. Plus, guess what? We have a merch shop. That's right, we have network polos, t-shirts, champion jackets, hats, and bottles. Rep the network. Every purchase supports independent sports and entertainment media. Use the QR code on your screen right now to check out InsideEdgeNetwork.com. That's InsideEdgeNetwork.com.
My goodness, what a night. Game 3 of the NBA Finals. It felt like a full event, but we have full team coverage all night long, reacting. Myself, Eli, Chad, and Eli. And yes, I said your name twice because you did a lot of work. Kyle was on there. And yes, Kyle, everything will be okay. But no, what a night. And we have a series, Eli.
We sure do, Double A. Yeah, San Antonio gets one. No home team in this finals has won on their home court, and it's just crazy to think about. We spent a wide range of time, 3 hours to be exact, with most of the Daily Show. So now we'll see if we can wake Omar up here in the morning and get him rocking and rolling with you. But man, what a fun night here, just reacting to Game 3.
It was fun. Again, Tuesday Top 5 coming up for you later tonight on Inside Edge Primetime. And if Chad ends up on the opening segment of my show, then the top 5 list is wrong. But you got to tune in. Inside Edge Primetime at 10 with Eli and Chad. And then my show, Midnight Run, coming up later tonight, right here on the Inside Edge Network.
And welcome back, Inside Edge Morning Show. It's Tuesday, man. Awesome Tuesday. I wanted to bring out a new segment. I know this show is pretty new, so every segment is kind of new, but this is going to be a reoccurring thing. I have a massive collection of CDs behind me, and I like to call it Steve's collection. It's Steve was Rachel's dad. He had an awesome music collection, and we are currently in the process of cataloging it and getting the music ripped and digitized and everything like that. Yeah, I just want to shout out a couple albums every Tuesday that mean something to me that I've been rocking out to. Steve was a really crafty guy. He listened to a lot of heavy stuff, and we had pretty much the same music taste, which is kind of crazy. The first album I am going to pick is Supertramp's Breakfast in America. I don't know if you could see that, but yeah, Breakfast in America. One of my favorite albums. I actually have it on vinyl as well because it's that good. You get all the it basically takes you through a journey, right? The whole album in itself is a good listen to straight through. It sets up a scene. They're coming to America. They want to go to Hollywood, but Hollywood's kind of crazy in itself, and you have the logical song and Goodbye Stranger, it's been nice. And a lot of good hits on that record. Like I said, I like to play it straight because some of the songs transition to each other, and it's a rocking album, man. Anytime I put this on, I just feel good. I feel better. So it's Supertramp, Breakfast in America. Some of these songs, Take the Long Way Home. It just the horns and it gets you pumped up. It kind of rises, and you get that feeling. So like if you need a good summer album, I mean, you just throw this on. It's some good stuff, man. Supertramp, Breakfast in America. And one of the coolest things about owning the vinyl is the label on it. It's basically the waitress in the middle on the art. So when it spins, and you can see her holding the thing, going in circles. It's really cool. So yeah, Breakfast in America. This came out in March 16th, 1979. One of my other favorite tracks on this record is let's see. Take a look at my girlfriend. She's the only one I got. Ba-da-da-da. Yeah, that's on this record too. Before what was it? Travie McCoy and all those guys, redid it and interpolated it and made their own thing. It was Supertramp who came up with all that, and good album. It's their sixth album. A lot of their kind of like visual style kind of took off during this era. So like they use this waitress a lot, and the drink and everything like that. Let's see here. All right. So music scores. I give this album, it's a 5 out of 5 for me, right? You go through and you look at some of the other criticisms about this album. All Music kind of gave it 4.5. Some of these guys kind of gave it middling reviews, like the Record Collector gave it like a 3 out of 5, and Uncut gave it a 3 out of 5. But I can always come back to this album and just throw it on and just be happy, it's good. It's good. So I want to shift real quick to the other album I want to talk about. You want to talk about influential albums for me. This one came out in 1991, A&M Records. It is Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger. So you get Chris Cornell just giving you hit after hit. The album starts off with Rusty Cage, transitions into Outshined. You get the heavy fast track Jesus Christ Pose. It's good stuff. It's Terry Date and Soundgarden themselves produced it. The CD is actually pretty wicked too, and you get some of the album art there. But yeah, really influential album for me. I was really heavy into Chris Cornell and his screeching, vocals, and yeah, I can always come back to this one as well, just to like when I'm like working out or in a feel, I could just throw this on and hear Chris belt out some tunes, and it's a good feeling. So Soundgarden, Bad Motorfinger, my second album here, one of my absolute favorites. And yeah, I just want to real quick get through some of these reviews, just simply because like I don't understand how some people can like. I know music reviewers are like very it's all subjectional, right? I'm gonna disagree with people who would like or listen to country or things that I don't normally listen to, just simply because we all as human beings have different tastes, right? So yeah, Bad Motorfinger, third studio album from Soundgarden, before their 1994 mega album Super Unknown. Classified as grunge. I mean, they were in that scene there, and like, yeah, all the reviewers gave it high marks. Obviously, a little bit better than the mixed reviews for Supertramp's Breakfast in America, but again, this album was among the top 100 selling albums of 1992. It sold 1 million copies in the early 90s, and it ended up being certified platinum in January 1993. The singles included Jesus Christ Pose, Outshined, and Rusty Cage. Just good stuff. Obviously, there was some controversy, just simply because of one of the songs being named Jesus Christ Pose. But they overcame that little bit of controversy to produce a platinum award-winning album. They won a Grammy for best metal performance, and that same year won another one and Northwest Area Music Award for best metal album as well. And let's see here, Guitar World ranked it 45 in 2006 on the list of 100 greatest guitar albums of all time, and was also ranked number 2 on Rolling Stone's 50 greatest grunge albums list. So albums, I love them. So yeah, very influential for me growing up. I had both of these albums when I was a kid, listened to them on repeat. It really shaped kind of how I listen to music. And yeah, and the things I listen for, obviously, you get the horns and the different sounds with Breakfast in America, but like with Soundgarden, it's all about the guitars, right? The solos, Chris's voice. Yeah, so two very different albums, but very, very, very influential for me, and shaping who I am and what I listen to. So, yeah, that's 2 Album Tuesday for you here on Inside Edge Network Morning Show. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you like me, blathering on about music. Like I said, it's very important for me, in my mental health, just listening to music, giving me something to do while I'm cleaning and, working out. Having a soundtrack and a playlist for your life is important. It's good for your mental. So make sure you get out there, maybe check out these albums. Listen to them straight. They're both good straight. Obviously you have the bigger hits on the first part of the album on Bad Motorfinger, but like I said, Breakfast in America is made to be played straight. So play it straight. Maybe you might find a song or two that is a deeper cut that you might have missed out on. Like for instance, like I have In the Air Tonight by Phil Collins. That album. The song right after it, This Must Be Love, is a straight banger, and I wouldn't have even thought about listening to it without just buying the vinyl and listening to it right after. I can feel it coming in the air tonight. But no, I ended up loving that track. The bass on it is crazy. It's the boom 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 boom. So it's insane. So you never know what you're gonna find just listening to albums straight. You could just straight up find your next favorite song, and could have been clueless the entire time just simply because you click a playlist on Spotify and it gives you all different types of music. Yeah, I'm a big album guy. If you couldn't tell, you'll figure it out though. You'll figure it out though. Tomorrow we have Vinyl Wednesday, so I'll be talking more music. You'll be seeing some more cool vinyl. And yeah, remember to like and subscribe here on the Inside Edge Network. We're on YouTube, X, Facebook, IG, TikTok. Like our stuff, heart it, do whatever you need to do, share it out. And if you're on, YouTube or anything like that, make sure you hit that notification bell so you're not missing out any of our good content that we have here for you on the daily. Speaking of daily, you'll catch me here 9 to 11 Monday through Friday. And then you have Unfiltered with Kyle Cornell 5 to 6, Inside Edge Primetime with Eli Moon, Chad Bryan 10 to 11, and Midnight Run with Double A Anthony Alford from 12 to 1. Make sure you check out our website as well, InsideEdgeNetwork.com. You'll get more information about all the shows that we do here in our profile pages as well, so you get to learn a little bit about me, Eli, and Kyle, and kind of our backgrounds and where we came from and why we do this. There's also a merch shop as well, so if you need a new Inside Edge t-shirt, we got them. If you need a hat or a coffee mug, we got that too. Rep the network. We love you guys, and the more you support us, the better we'll get. So keep it locked here on Inside Edge Net. When we come back, we'll wrap up this show. I'll get Eli back on the screen, and we'll have some final thoughts here for this Tuesday. All right. Inside Edge Network. We'll be right back.
Mosser Moments Photography is a husband and wife wedding photography team based in Cleveland, owned and operated by Inside Edge Network's very own Ryan Mosser and his wife, Hallie. For the past 10 years, they've captured more than 100 weddings across Northeast Ohio and beyond, always working together as a true two-person team. Their style centers on authentic, emotional storytelling, documenting the real moments between two people in love and creating images that feel natural, comfortable, and true to the couple. Rooted in Northern Ohio but inspired by their travels, Ryan and Hallie bring a warm, personal approach to every wedding day. Their work blends experience, consistency, and a genuine passion for helping couples relive their best day through timeless photography. Learn more at monstermomentsphotography.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. monstermomentsphotography.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Whether searching for a baseball autographed by your favorite World Series slugger, a signed football by an iconic Hall of Famer, or the jersey of a world-famous soccer star, you've come to the right place. Here at sportsmemorabilia.com, the web's leading source of authentic sports memorabilia, you'll find more than 500,000 authentic products from nearly every professional sports league, team, and players. Not only will you find your next prized sports possession with ease thanks to superb customer service and tremendous site experience, you'll have the satisfaction and peace of mind that every product listed comes complete with a certificate of authenticity and is fully backed by the sportsmemorabilia.com lifetime authenticity guarantee. Go to sportsmemorabilia.com by using the QR code on your screen right now. Sportsmemorabilia.com, a proud sponsor of the Inside Edge Podcast Network, Cleveland's digital leader. Great episode of Unfiltered today, guys. Here on your Monday, broke down a bunch of different happenings all across Northeast Ohio, including, the county sheriff. It's the only county in Ohio that doesn't elect their sheriff. County Council is going to get into this more on Tuesday. We'll have the results of that either Tuesday or Wednesday, so stay tuned for that. Also, President Trump went to it, Game 3 of the NBA Finals. What happened with the Knicks and the Spurs? Are the Spurs down 3-0? Oh my goodness. All that and more coming up on Unfiltered on your Tuesday, 5 p.m. right here on the Inside Edge Network.
Welcome back, Inside Edge Net. We're here. It's Crazy Tuesday. The Spurs got it done, man. They got it done. Wanted to shout out real quick. Chuck had some crazy comments about Cardi B. Eli, you got that clip, man?
Knicks up 7, looking for a 3-0 lead. We've been competing with Cardi B here. We lost. Hey, I don't know if those B's, that might be Cardi B's. I sure am. New love indeed. I'm pretty sure those are B's. I don't know who said that, but I know it wasn't me.
Oh, Chuck, man, you got to calm down, dude. You got to calm down. Eli, get in here. Eli, man, he's got to chill, bro.
Yeah,
he's got to chill, man.
This is like, look, we don't know how long inside the NBA, has in terms of like how many years they'll do this remaining, right? But this is what you call the end of your run as being on TV as a commentator. Chuck's kind of pivoting into the podcasting side of things, so he's probably going to lean towards more towards that. When looking at this, they've been frustrated with the ESPN thing to begin with on a whole scale, just the lack of time, which I think is cool that they have gotten, they've received the opportunity to be able to host Inside the NBA for a finals edition and be the pregame and postgame for the finals for the first time in that show's history, which is insane. It's insane to think about because, they had it on TNT, they had the Western Conference Finals a majority of the time. Sometimes the Eastern Conference Finals, I've always felt like they were doing the Western Conference Finals. So, but crazy to think, and I know TNT was probably never going to, beat out, ABC, ESPN for the finals, but you just wonder, man, like how didn't TNT just blow the bag just to get those guys more studio time and get them there?
Yeah, they're electric, man. Every time
Yeah.
they come on the screen, dude, like Chuck and Shaq have the greatest dynamic ever, man.
Yeah, and it's so cool. I'm looking here, just seeing the exact deal. It doesn't seem like it's a super like constructed deal where they're going to be there like 5-10 years, and those guys are getting a little bit older, right? It makes us sad because that means we're getting older, because remember when those guys just kind of started in the first decade or so of them doing that show. So crazy to think about, but it's also crazy to think about that Shaquille O'Neal's been retired for what, 15, 17 years now. I mean, crazy to think about. What, Shaq's last year, if I'm not mistaken, was 2010, 2011. I'm just double checking here. Shaquille O'Neal, let me do a quick research here. 2010, 2011 with Boston. Yep. He had that one. He was the Shaquille here in 2009, 2010, and then he finished in Boston. So think about that, Omar. It's been 15 years since Shaquille O'Neal's played basketball. We were talking about when he was freshly retired and joining the set with Charles Barkley and those guys. He is 15 years retired. Goodness, I need a cup of coffee after the show, but that's
heavy stuff.
That's a lot, bro. That's a lot. Like,
I remember watching Diesel. I remember getting so hyped for him to be here, and then like,
and he said he was LeBron's. I gotta find the clip. I'll find the clip for later this week. He said he was LeBron's witness protection or whatever. That he was gonna that he was gonna be LeBron's protection. And I mean, he was fun while he was. I mean, he wasn't Shaquille O'Neal. Like we were not getting that Shaquille O'Neal, but he played 53 games here. Averaged 23 minutes per game. I mean, it wasn't crazy, but
it wasn't crazy, but it was still Diesel. I mean, he was still there.
Yeah, he had 12 points per game. Just looking here, rebounds per game, he had 6.7. So I mean, still averaging almost a double. But yeah, we were not getting the Shaquille was not Shaquille O'Neal in Miami or Los Angeles or even Orlando when he first started off. So yeah, crazy to think about. As some of these guys start retiring, I'm like, all right, chill out, man, because that means I'm getting old, and there's gonna come a point in time here in 10 years while we're doing the show here in the network. The network's, expanded even more so. We'll be looking, I'll be like, oh God, no way did Anthony Edwards just to say it, it's a career, I mean, 10, 15, I mean, hopefully 15, closer to 20 for Edwards, what I'm saying? Yeah, hopefully he's got a little bit more. And I think he does. I mean, I just use him as an example, but when those guys start retiring, like the Anthony Edwards and Luka Doncic and those guys, that's what I'm going to sit and look at you and go, now I feel old. Now I officially feel old.
I saw a video of Juju Smith-Schuster at Giants practice doing cuts and everything like that. Brother looks ancient. He looks ancient out there, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he calls it a day too, like straight up.
And he took a lot of hits in Pittsburgh too. In Kansas City, he didn't really do a crazy amount. I mean, he had some big plays, some big games, and they did rely on him to get to the Super Bowl at times, but that was a receiver by committee. And Juju Smith-Schuster, that's another guy, when we talk about expectations, especially with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the wide receivers. I know we had Rob on, and big thanks to Rob Rozycki, Inside Edge Network talent here on air with the main event with AA and myself Sunday nights. Of course, like Omar mentioned, WTM 1100 as well does a lot of great work. And he's family, so we appreciate him. But not to take a jab at Rob, his Pittsburgh Steelers fandom, but it's like, okay, dude, like the one thing I can certainly say about the Steelers is they haven't been able to develop a wide receiver since Antonio Brown. And Antonio Brown's development stage came, again, almost 15 years ago, which is crazy to think about. But, he was on those teams that remember that Antonio Brown and Emmanuel Sanders were young players. Like they were the young upstarts in that wide receiver room when it was other guys trying to lead the way, Plaxico Burress, I believe, was on that Pittsburgh Steelers team, and Mike Wallace, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, you had some names out there, and just they haven't been able to develop anybody since. Juju Smith-Schuster is one of many names. Another one that comes to mind is Chase Claypool.
Yeah,
who I think is trying to get it. Yeah, he's trying to get into. He's trying to get into camp. Like he's just trying to get an opportunity. And it's crazy, because at one point Juju Smith-Schuster was talked about as being like the transition. Okay, he's learning from Antonio Brown. He had that big physical block against Vontaze Burfict, when all that stuff was going down. He's like, dude, you're not going to keep sunning us. But yeah, you wonder what happened. He also got in the league so early that you just wonder if like he was ready for the league. That's always a big discussion.
Maturity issues, right? Just like
You wonder.
You can't be going like at the beginning of the game to the opposing team's like logo and taking a crap on it on TikTok.
Yeah, he was real big into the TikTok stuff, and it's like, as an athlete, you just got to kind of know how to handle both. Like, yes, we are in the age. I mean, we're here on social media. And make sure you like, subscribe, follow Inside Edge Net on all
That's
the
right.
socials. We're in an age where content's king, and it's more imperative now to have content out. Now, I don't know how much Juju Smith-Schuster was necessarily getting off of being on TikTok, but again, he was doing all of that freshly out of USC, a 20-year-old kid,
Right.
Just you wonder.
Yeah. All right. Well, Eli, any thoughts? Any last anything you want to shout out? Anything going on with LaHale or?
Yeah,
I know
mean,
Cliché's got a show on Sunday, right, at the Grog Shop.
Yep, Saturday night. It's over at Grog Shop. It's Cliché's EP release. It's the Land Volume 2, the follow-up to the Land Volume 1, which came out last year, which was really, really good.
Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, it's fire.
Yeah, it's a great project, and it's out on all streaming platforms. He's doing something real cool. I'll allow him to explain. I'm going to try to get him on this week. Multiple shows. We're seeing what we can do about getting him lined up. Him and Pops have been talking about getting an episode lined up, so we'll see if we can get that going this week. And then also going to try to get him on primetime. Join Chad and I again. He's been on before and gave some great thoughts and about the Browns draft at that time. And we'll get the bro on from LaHale and we'll have a conversation about his EP, The Land Volume 2, coming out. Some really exciting performances too. You have Gutty Mac from the Steppers. I've had him on conversation with Eli Moon. He's making a lot of waves. He'll be on opening for Cliché. You have Pico the Guy, though. He's a great artist as well in Cleveland. He'll be opening up. Yeah, Mark B. Easy, our bro from LaHale.
Love Mark B. Easy.
Yeah, man. We I just saw him the other day. We went out to the Trust show, which was another great show I'll get to in a moment. But yeah, Mark B. Easy will be there. And then DJ Scostradamus will be DJing. A few other opening artists as well. Just a really, really exciting card. Big Ten's opening as well. So very exciting. Very exciting. I'm hosting the thing. So, I'll be hosting the event, making sure, everybody's smiling and having a good time, and I'll be rocking and rolling. So I got a new fresh haircut, so I'm excited to rock that and do the thing. Yeah, appreciate it. So I'll be hosting the show, Cliché's EP release show, The Land Volume 2.
Saturday, right?
Saturday night at Grog Shop. Doors are at 7, and I'm just confirming here. But yes, doors are at 7, and show is at 8 o'clock. And I'm again, tickets are still available right now. I would grab them sooner than later this week. If you've been to a Cliché show, he's my brother. He's part of LaHale. He is one of the artists that have a lot of buzz right now in the city. Every show he pops out to, there's a lot of people pulling up with him. And I feel like if you want to go to the show, right, then you probably should get your tickets sooner. And that's not me
for sure.
But I would grab them.
Yeah, no, and there's plenty of things to do over there if you want to make a day out of it. You got the Cleveland Museum of Art right down the way, and then you have plenty of things over in Coventry to do too. So, you just make a day out of it and hang out in Cleveland, man. It's really fun down in Coventry. There's a little park over there you can chill at. There's a couple bars over there. There's a really nice whiskey bar.
Did you say cilantro? Did you mention cilantro?
Cilantro's great, man.
So good. I got a story. I know we're gonna go a few minutes over. Just real quick. We were doing a show at B-side. I got 2 quick stories and then I'll be done. But
yeah, you're good.
We went to B-side. Did a show at B-side. Oh my goodness, the end or beginning of 2025 or end of 24. And I only say that because a lot of things blend together now for me. I'm just moving a lot, and we've done a lot of shows at B-side and Grog Shop. But I know it was around the winter time. And Jared Horgan, shout out Jared. He's a great singer, songwriter here in Cleveland. Really incredible, and a great follow on Instagram as well. But you go check him out and see his music, because we had him on the show. We're doing the thing where we're getting ready before the show. Doors haven't opened yet, and here comes Jared downstairs with tacos from Cilantro. I go, where'd you get those from? He goes, Cilantro next door. I go, I've never had it. He goes, dude, you got to go try it. And my sister's there, Maddie's there. She's like, Eli, I want some tacos. And, I'm like, Pops, do you want some tacos? I'm okay. I'm like, okay. Like, if I come back, because I love Papa Moon. But the one thing I do know is when it comes to leftovers at my mama's house or whatever, I pack it all up. I go, okay, I'm going to get the leftovers. You want anything? No, I'm going to be okay tonight. And then it turns into a day later. Why did I eat all the leftovers that I brought home from the house? Anyways, love Papa Moon, but we need to have a better leftover discussion. All that to be said, we went over to Cilantro and we had a great time. I mean, it was my first time going there. You know, I got like 2 or 3 tacos, housed those things before a show, housed like 3 cilantro tacos. I was like, let's go. I'm ready to host. I'm ready to host and perform. And it was great. It was a great time. So B-side, Grog Shop, like Omar said, is just a tremendous area to be around, a very iconic venue. If you're not from Cleveland and you're going to be in Cleveland this weekend, definitely step out the Grog Shop. I mean, it's an iconic venue. A ton of different guys and girls, I mean, different artists from here in Ohio to out of state to out of the country have been at Grog Shop. So real cool. And Cliche will be there releasing his EP, The Land Volume 2, at Grog Shop Saturday night, 7 p.m. doors, show at 8 p.m. Tickets are in advance. If you get them ahead of time, they're $15. If you buy them at the door, they're $20. So you save about $5 at the door. And yeah, I mean, gonna be cool. So I'm excited about that. And yeah, man, just a lot of good stuff. I did mention I would be remiss if I didn't mention my teas. I did go to this Grog Shop last Saturday, a few days ago, and with Mark B. Easy and his wife and Papa Moon, and it was a good time, man. Trust was there. They were celebrating their 1-year anniversary of Fluorescence, their album from last year, and Trust is, I think, on their way to Canada next. So they're a national touring act out of Cleveland, national touring band. They're really fun, very refined. Hannah, the lead singer, does a great job. The guys rocking with her do a great job, and they keep the crowd involved. Of course, that show was crazy, bro. I mean, you had formerly Candace. It was my first time seeing formerly Candace as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was my first time seeing Trust too live, but I've been able to follow them, and I follow formerly Candace because my guy Phoenix Vibes is tied in to like what they're doing right now. They have a song called Not the Same, which is from formerly Candace by formerly Candace. But they have the remix with Phoenix Vibes, and he is just in his element out there rocking with the band.
Oh,
so
Phoenix Vibes, man.
Yeah. He's awesome, man. That's the bro, and I wanted to go out and support him. That was like the main reason I went out, was like, I'm gonna go support Phoenix because he is always showing me love, and we talk all the time. So I went out there, rock out with Phoenix, got to rock out the formerly Candace. They were incredible, really good. The lead singer is the drummer, so it's very cool.
Oh yeah, it's sick.
And then you got, and Trust, and then Geesh also opened up. They are really fun. They got a song, Banana, Nana, Nana. It's like just a bunch of nanas. And I'm not talking grandmas. But, they got just a really good vibe, really good energy at Grog Shop, a packed house. And it's always good being out there, man. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed myself. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a beautiful week here in Cleveland. So it's like, the vibes are up. I feel like, I think it's going to be 88, 90 degrees again today here in Cleveland. I'm just confirming here, Omar, before we get off the air. Let me see here. My weather app tells me 85, so a little bit less, but still 85 degrees. It might be a little rain to cool off, but if anything, that tells us it's going to be a little humid. So it's exciting, man. Summer's back, and we're rocking and rolling.
Love it, man. Love it. All right, we'll end the show on that. Thank you for tuning in. Inside Edge Net. Check us out on all the socials, YouTube, X, Facebook, IG, TikTok. Keep it locked to the network. We always have replays, so we always have something going. There's always content for you to check out. Check out our YouTube as well. You can always find our show replays, anything like that. We'll have it all for you. Make sure you check out our daily shows as well. Kyle's coming up here, and after Kyle, you'll have a little break, and you'll get into Inside Edge Prime Time with Eli and Chad Bryan, and then you get Midnight Run with Double A Anthony Alford. So make sure you check us out. Check out our merch shop, right? Inside Edge Net. You can buy a T-shirt, buy a coffee mug, support your streamers, support our broadcasting team that we provide to you. We do this because we love the game, and we will never stop. So Inside Edge Net, check us out. We'll be back tomorrow. I'll have some Wednesday vinyl for you. I got some cool ones. So don't miss it. Inside Edge Net morning show. Have a good one.